In the spotlight today, the BM15D from SZBJ. Cheapo multimeter time. Picked up this nifty little auto ranger courtesy of Amazon. Next day, ow, so fast. Such pure cheapo pleasure. Now this is a cheapo, definitely 25 bucks Canadian, around $21 US. Yes, definitely in the cheapo realm. Now, one thing that really tweaked me about this particular multimeter is the fact that it has a pretty big feature set. In fact, for a cheapo, this is probably one of the best loaded cheapos I've yet to see. Before we get into the features though, let's take a look at what you get in the box. Besides that nice box, you're getting a good set of test leads actually. These are fairly large, not your standard style cheapie. They come in a plastic bag, and let's just take them out of here. We can see right away that we have a nice shroud on there, nice and long. And you know, I gotta say, quality wise, yeah, that is a really decent gauge wire. Definitely one of the nicer set of test leads I've seen in a cheapo as well. They're Cat 3 rated 1000 volts. Have a really nice feel to them too. A pointy tip, and all in all, very nice. So yeah, kudos to the cheapo makers out there, because you have coming up with some really improved test leads as of late. Love it. You'll notice we have a temperature probe as well, because yes, it does do temperature. Nice. I love it when these cheapos can handle temperature. Whew, beauty. Finally, we get a little service manual. Really nothing more than a fold-out spec sheet. Tells you what the meter is capable of. BM15D digital multimeter operating instructions. Really all you need. As I mentioned, this little guy is feature-packed. First of all, let's look at the quality of the build. You know what? Hey, it's pretty decent, I must say. Feels nice. Good solid rubber boot. Doesn't feel really cheap. Has a nice tactile feel to it. Solid little meter. This is a heavy little guy. It's not light by any means. Yeah. On the back, we have that nice kickstand. Comes out at a 45-degree angle. Look at that. Oh, so nice, solid. I like it when they're wide like that, because it just gives you a better overall, you know, feel. And yes, that meter is definitely operational with that tilt stand. You know, I like it. As well, those test leads can store in the back on those little holders. You can have a one-handed testing operation, or you can just store them for usage. Nice job. Looking at the rotary selector switch, starting at the 9 o'clock or off position. AC/DC volts plus frequency. Diode, continuity, and resistance. Capacitance. Temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. A separate frequency mode, up to 20 megahertz. Low current microamps, AC/DC. Milliamps, AC/DC. High current amps, AC/DC. Non-contact voltage. Secondary off at the 3 o'clock position. Top left of the meter, we have our function button, our range, and our data hold / backlight. Yes, it's not a Funz button. Ugh. At the bottom, we have our high current 10 amp input. In the middle, we have our common. And on the far right, we have our capacitance, frequency, diode, continuity, temperature, volts, AC/DC, resistance, and milliamps. On the BM15D, we notice we have a separate LED here at the top. Now that has a couple of functions. One of them is when you turn the range selector, it will give you an audible beep as well as a visual, just letting you know that the range has been switched. Also, it doubles as a visual alert for the continuity. Awesome. Let's turn the meter on, shall we? And right away, you can see that LED lights up, letting us know we are now on. Heard that audible beep. We are good to go. Presently, we're sitting in non-contact voltage mode. And all in all, not a bad looking display. Now with the backlight enabled, you can see it makes a bit of a difference on that display. A little bit more clarity, contrast, what have you. Now the backlight only lasts for approximately 25-30 seconds. Yes, one of these never-ending timeouts. But that being said, at least we do have a backlight. So you can see this little cheapo has a lot of functionality. Wow, you know, frequency up to 20 megahertz, really? And I mean, both temperature, Celsius and Fahrenheit, that is always a bonus. Yeah, packing a lot of punch into this little pocket rocket. Well, it's not a pocket rocket. Let me take that back. It is a small meter, but definitely not a big one. So if we put it beside the Mestec DM91A and the Zoe Z2102A, you can tell it is pretty well on par with those guys. However, if we zoom out a little bit, and let's put that Habotest in the picture, you can see it is much smaller than that full-size Habotest. But that being said, a good-sized meter all around. Definitely not too big and not too small. I gotta say, too, that rotary selector switch, very, very nice. Good, solid click when you're in between the ranges there, and it settles on another range with authority. You've got that nice visual as well as the audible indicator letting you know those ranges have been switched. Very, very nice tactile feel for a cheapo. Something worth mentioning as well, when that backlight is enabled, you can tell it also has a flashlight that comes on automatically. So when you have the backlight on, the flashlight is on too. Not a big fan of that. Starting off with the DC accuracy test. Nice thing is when you turn the BM15D on, it automatically defaults to volts DC, not AC. So for all us electronics guys, that is a good thing. Okay, sitting at 2.49 volts. We wanted to see 2.5. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's move it up. Want to see 5 volts even, and here we are, 4.99. Okay, up and away. 10 is what we want to see, and we're sitting at 9.99. We missed one range. 7.5, and she's coming up at 7.49. So, hey, all in all, definitely in spec, looking good. Resistance is next, sitting at 9 megohms right now. Well, let's see how fast or slow this meter ranges. Here we go. 7 megohm, 5 megohm. Hey, not too bad. 3 megohm. Back to 5. And 2. And 1. So great to see. This is a fast ranging multimeter in the resistance range. Oh, that is a nice refreshing tail. Had some real slow pokes as of late, but the BM15D is up to the test. Got the lab resistor out right now, 100 ohm, even Steven, 100.9 coming up on the BM15D. Hey, not too bad. Do like the buttons, the soft touch buttons, very nice. You know, not plasticky, it just has a nice soft tactile feel. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, it feels good. Gucci. Yeah. Okay. The infamous diode mode is next. Here we go. Starting off with the green LED, and we do have it lit up with a forward voltage drop. Over to the yellow. Yes, it is barely lit, but it is. Over to the red, and same thing, lit with a forward voltage drop. 3 for 3. Over to the blue. Oh, it is not lit, and we're not getting any forward voltage. And same with the white. So 3 to 5. Well, it's a C. Got an old HP multimeter I am working on right now. And let's see, their diode mode, no problem. Diode output voltage, 2.2 volts. NCV mode comes up with that EF. And wow, I am not even scanning anything, and already we haven't. Oh, wow. Okay, let's just put it down. So it is reading the electrical interference from my own body. Wow, there you go. So really hypersensitive, in fact, too sensitive, because you're going to get a lot of false readings like this. Oh, man. Oh, wow, stop. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's a fail. Quick homemade shielding job, as you can see, nothing fancy. Took me all of like 2 minutes to do this. But yeah, you know, some of this wonderful tape, and away you go. I'll have a review coming up on that as well shortly, but makes a difference. And as you can see, as I'm holding the meter, it's not going crazy. So yeah, a little bit of shielding can go a long way. You listening? We are now in continuity mode. Oh yeah, my favorite time, my favorite time. Standard stock test leads. Is it loud? Is it low? Well, there's only one way to find out. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's slow. Yeah, it's loud. It's latch, but it is really slow. Now you do have that nice visual indicator as well on the meter. Wow, you have to put a lot of pressure. So it just might be the leads. Let's try those Probe Masters. Probe Masters, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm feeling the love now. Are you feeling the love? Oh, what a difference. See, what a difference a set of probes can make. And you know, those other probes, they're not bad. The standard leads are not bad, but when it comes to continuity, they suck. Hence the Probe Masters. Oh, that is literally... Oh, 9.5 out of 10. 76.9 decibels, the maximum output in continuity. Capacitance is next. Now this has a 2 millifarad, 2000 microfarad capacity. I did try going beyond that, and it was a no-show. So let us try standard. This is a 560 microfarad cap, and let's see how quickly, at least, it can measure. Here we go. Alrighty. And it's thinking. There we are. 517. This was 560. Yeah, that's fine. So, you know, it's doable. It would have preferred to see a higher range, probably 10 millifarad as a minimum. But you know what? It ain't bad. And here we have a small 100 nanofarad cap. And look at that. Oh, look at that. Don't look at that. That was shameful. Here we go. Try it again. Yeah, so no worries here. Take a quick look at the lower capacitance range. Is sitting at 9 microfarad right now, coming up as 7.7, so that is a bit off. Let's try 8, coming up as 6.82. Try 6 microfarad, coming up as 5.2. 4 microfarad, 3.3. 3 microfarad, 2.6. And... yeah, so 1.8 for the 2 microfarad range. It definitely loses some of that accuracy in the lower microfarad spectrum. Sitting in temperature mode, it's really nice that it has that onboard sensor, so you don't need that thermocouple if you just want to measure the ambient temperature. Once again, it is both in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Of course, if you want to use the temperature probe, plug it in and away you go. Let's light up that Berger, shall we? Got a pretty decent flame going here. Here we go. Whoopsie daisy. Alrighty. Yeah, temperature is climbing. Whoa! Oh yeah. Hot to trot, baby. About 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm melting this little guy. 1,500 degrees. Oh yeah. Burn, baby, burn. Kids, don't try this at home, please. I am a professional. If we put this over to our Celsius mode, you can see we're sitting at around 800 degrees Celsius. Thereabouts. All right. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Okay. Now it's going to smell really good. This has a 20 megahertz range. I'm unable to measure that today, but we are looking at 10 megahertz, actually 9.9, coming up as 9.88, so looking good. And look at that. That is the battery off. Isn't that annoying when that happens? I find it very annoying. Looking at low voltage, sitting at 100 millivolts right now. Let's bring it up, shall we? 200 millivolts. Oh yeah, no worries here. 300. 400. Let's take it up to 1 volt even. Yeah, looks fine. Let's take a quick look at current, sitting at 2.92 amps, 2.89 according to the Kiepontesting power supply. All right, let's bring it up, shall we? 3.56, 4.8, 6.17 for the Kiepontesting, coming up at 6.2 for the BM15D. Looking good so far. All right, let's take it up to 10 amps. 9.6, 9.10 amps, and oh, look at that. We have an audible alarm on the high current side. Sitting at just over 10 amps. You can hear that fan kicking in now on the Kiepontesting. But very nice. We have a high current alarm, visual as well as audio, on the little BM15D. Excellent. Let's bring that current down. And boom. So over 10 amps, we're getting a high current alarm. Excellent. Let's look at AC voltage right now. Turning it on. 120 is what we want to see. There we are, 120.5 volts AC. You can see the true RMS signifier at the top left. Looking good. As well, we can check out that frequency. Let's hit the Funz button. And there we are, 59.8 hertz. Put it back. And no. Back to AC volts. 120.5. So when we hit that function button, yeah, it gives us the hertz reading. It does not automatically go back to AC though. Oh, that is problematic. So you have to hit it again to get back into your AC volts mode. Oh, don't like that. It is teardown time in Texas. Well, not really Texas, I'm in Canada. It just sounded so nice, doesn't it? Texas. Anyway, here we are taking a look at the inside of this meter. Now, starting things off, we've got one Phillips here. Take it out, and lo and behold, look at that. Look at that. I mean, look at that. What the heck is that? Yeah, so we've got a very interesting mechanism here. First of all, kudos. We do have that threaded brass insert. Good job. Excellent. Like to see that. But for whatever reason, I guess they're utilizing this connector for various models. In this case, it is only accepting 2 of the AAAs. We actually have a dead zone here. Weird. All right, let's take it a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips, and we are in. Oh my goodness. This is going to be interesting. Let's start things off by the reverse side of the unit. Here we have no shielding, no surprise, and look at the difference shielding probably would have made with that NCV detection. Oh, wow. Here's the connectors for the 2 AAA batteries that feed onto the main PCB. Okay. Looking at those input jacks, yeah, the split variety, we see those basically 95% of the time in the cheapos. But once again, not a big deal because they are being supported by these plastic inserts on the opposite side of the housing. So they're in there nice and nice and snug, those test leads. Already. Oh my God, what were they thinking? Look at the size of these tiny little fuses. Oh, wow. Insane. Why do they do that? Why? Oh, why? Oh, it's a WWTT moment. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that is nuts. Just nuts. I mean, these things are tiny. And both the milliamp and the 10 amp fuse share this ludicrous size. Oh, wow. I gotta measure these. So these are basically 3.5, 3.6. Let's just try that one more time here. Yeah, 3.6 millimeter by 10 millimeter. So, oh my God, very, very small. Just not a standard size fuse by any means. You're going to have one heck of a time trying to find a replacement when you blow it. I was thinking a couple of options for these ludicrous fuse sizes. You could order a bunch of these pigtails. These are really cheap. Yeah, they're just a tad bit larger, but they would fit in there nonetheless. Yeah, and you could just snip off the ends, and there's your, fuse replacement. Or, at least for the milliamp side, you could go ahead and use one of those poly-style fuses. These are great. take off that whole fuse holder mechanism, put in a poly fuse, get it close to the reading, and bada boom, bada bing, you're good to go in the milliamp range. But as it stands, yeah, these minuscule little ridiculous sized fuses are going to be very problematic. Moving up, we have a couple of MELFs, a small diode clamp going on. One lonely PTC here, and this is on the voltage side. Main IC is cobbed. Here is our speaker. We have a surface mount capacitor. And oh, look at that. Interesting. Schminteresting. Let me just get in there a little bit deeper. Let's pull that off. So once again, here's the NCV. Now you can tell they've done that little fakeroo. Basically, it's nothing there. It is embedded into the PCB. You can tell there is our NCV detection. Wow, that was some wild wacko detection, wasn't it? But it's in there like a square wave embedded into the PCB itself. So yeah, no need for a protruding extrusion. It's all smoke and mirrors. Here's the LED for the flashlight as well. Basically, you know, pretty slim pickings here. Not a lot going on. It's clean, no residue. Looks all right, but nothing special. We have a revision here. 1.2 assembled at the factory on May 28th, 2019. SZBJ is the name signifier. Over at the top left here, we have a programmable header for factory calibration. Other than that, that's it. That's all. Okay, gonna put it all back together. Come back with my closing thoughts. Final thoughts on the BM15D. Oh, this is a really hard one for me to judge. Oh, it's pulling me both ways. It's a cheapo. It's true RMS. It has lots of ranges. You know, it's got that visual indicator. It's got a nice design. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. But let's face it, there's a lot of nagging issues. I mean, that NCV was just crazy, completely useless without doing some homemade shielding. And the fuse size, don't get me started on those crazy fuses. That is nuts, insane, it's dismal. Why can they not stick to an industry standard at least? Oh, no reason for it. WWTT, what were they thinking? And don't even get me started about that input protection. It sucked, it really wasn't there. Overall, at the end of the day, you know, it's a cheapo, and it does have a lot of good things about it, and a lot of bad as well. It's a hard one for me to judge, but I'm going to give a little benefit of the doubt and give the BM15D a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching this review, everybody. Hey, guess what? Sanwa week in December, that's right. Santa's coming early again. It's December, it's going to be Sanwa week number 3. Still have a ton of Sanwa stuff to put on display and review for you guys, and some new things from Sanwa as well, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's going to be a great couple of months coming up. Winter is on the way. Hey, wear a mask, stay safe. Till the next one, keep on testing.